Yesterday there was another mass shooting, this time in California. And as Venerable Choni in morning meditation so eloquently reminded us that we take these difficult situations onto the path. And so I was thinking this morning, okay, how am I going to do that? And what I thought first of all was, well, I have seeds of anger in my mind. And by remembering that, then it kind of levels out the playing field a bit, reminding me that we are much more similar than we are different. Then I started thinking about a little bit about my practice, especially when I first met Buddhism. And, after you meditate for some time, everything slows down a bit and you can start catching your thoughts. And I can remember so clearly when I started catching my thoughts how shocked I was at the critical, judgmental thoughts that came into my mind about other people. And the way that I reacted to that was I became very self-critical of myself, very judgmental of myself, and felt very shameful. And of course, that really didn't work very well at all. I was actually reinforcing the very qualities that I was trying to transform in my mind. So I had to think about a different way of working with that because my misery was increasing. And so really I started on the road of transforming these conditioned habits of my mind. And it was helpful for me, and it is helpful for me to remember that these habits are conditioned by, my environment I grew up in, the way people criticized others that I was around and grew up with. And I'm not blaming them, but I am recognizing that as a dependent arising, there are many things that influenced then this conditioned habit that I had. And so I first started working with the criticism and judgment that I had toward others. And what I know about the mind is when I have a negative emotion or thought, if I think of something opposite, that will turn my mind. It will change how I am thinking. And so what I started to do was use the metta meditation. Whenever I noticed that I was being critical in my mind about somebody's action, somebody was doing, why are they doing that way? And, as ridiculous as why are they wearing that? All of these critical thoughts, just, habitual ways of thinking. So whenever I would catch that, I would immediately just start the meditation in my mind, the phrase, may you be safe, may you be happy, may you be healthy, and may you be peaceful. And I would just say that over and over again until I started feeling some compassion arise in my heart. And at first it would take a while, but after some time it would come quite quickly. And it was quite powerful. I really didn't think that it was going to work very well, actually. I had some doubt about it, but boy, it really works. And so after I did that for some time, then I started directing my attention toward my own self-criticism, my own shame that I felt for how I was thinking. And what I recognized when I started working on that side of it is that there was a lot of fear underneath these critical thoughts. There was a lot of fear underneath even trying to work with it or move anything around. And what I realized what I needed to do was accept that this is how my mind thought. And the fear around that was, if I accepted it, then that means that's who I am. It defines me. And the way that I was thinking about it was defining me in a very permanent, static, unchanging way. This is who I am. And of course, I didn't want to accept that. But I was seeing myself very solid, very static. And so what I came to was finally, which was so helpful, was that accepting a negative, uncomfortable emotion doesn't mean that that's who I am. It means I can just acknowledge its presence. And that it was so helpful to think of it that way. When I have negative thoughts and negative emotions in my mind, what I am accepting when I accept is that I just accept that those are there. And when I accept their presence, then I have some space to start working with them. I have some space to start working with them. And I can consider my options then. And so this kind of acceptance creates safety and confidence, actually. And so from that aspect, that angle then, I started working with my own self-critical thoughts and my own shame. And so whenever I noticed it was in my mind, I would just launch right into the metta meditation again. May I be safe. May I be happy. May I be healthy. And may I be peaceful. And so the result of this over some time is that there's much less anxiety in my mind, a lot more peace. Anger comes a lot less frequently, I will say. And because I'm feeling more safe, really more confident then I have more space to develop and grow compassion and love. So it's very beneficial. And so if we come full circle back around to what can I do? How can I respond to the harm that is happening in the world, like this mass shooting that happened yesterday? I can work with my own mind. I can transform my own mind. And when I transform my own mind, I am transforming myself so that I have more compassion and more love. And that affects those I am around, that affects this world. And this is what we all can do. So there's no reason to fall into any kind of despair that, oh, it's terrible and, hopeless. No. We can work on ourselves. And if all of us work on ourselves, then all of us then, are creating peace in this chaotic world. And so let's do that.